bwino kugwiritsa ntchito madzi otetezeka kuti titeteze ana athu ku matenda a poliyo. Tiyeni tigwirane manja pothana ndi mliri wa poliyo.
Yes, Zimba South, what's going out of order?
Mr. Speaker, today being Private Members' Day, I wish to beg this House that we take business to government, looking at the point that we have got critical ministerial statements that need to be taken. You know, our roads are not in good shape, and also there is a FICID program which has run. So the nation is looking forward to have statements from ministers on how there is some progress and how our roads, the status they are. So I beg to move that we take business back to the government. If they exhaust their business, we are ready as members to do constituency statements, because they are also hanging. There are about 15 of them. If we will not do it today, we will not start today, then next week we can do constituency statement. For now, let's hear from our ministers. I beg to move, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, we have a motion that we vary today's order paper and allow government to proceed with ministerial statements. Those to revert, yes, to allow government to proceed with government business. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary views say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Leader.
Right Honourable Speaker, I rise to vary the order paper in order for the House to dispose of ministerial statement by the Honourable Minister of Agriculture, and thereafter the Minister of Transport will come in. In that order, Right Honourable Speaker, sir.
Honourable members, as moved by the Leader of the House, and I put the question, those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
Government business, item 4A, Roman numeral number 2, ministerial statements. The Honourable Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development to present a progress report on the 2025-2026 growing season FICIP implementation.
Honourable Minister of Agriculture.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to present the paper standing on my name under item 4, number A, sub-item 2 of the order paper.
Thank you, Minister of Agriculture. Please, you may proceed to the podium.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to present the paper standing on my name under item 4, number A, sub-item 2 of the order paper. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise before this Honourable House to provide an update on the status of the implementation of the Farm Inputs Subsidy Program, FISIP, for the 2025-26 farming season. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to commence my presentation by expressing my profound gratitude to His Excellency the State President, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, for his visionary leadership and continued guidance to me and my ministry as we execute our mandate, and his continued guidance. It is under his able direction that my ministry continues to execute its mandate with dedication and strategic clarity. Mr. Speaker, sir, I also wish to extend my sincere appreciation to my fellow cabinet colleagues and to every honourable member of this august House for your valuable insights and steadfast support throughout the implementation of this program. The progress I report today is a result of the collective wisdom from all of us. Stock, position, and procurement status. Mr. Speaker, sir, the House may recall that following the directive by Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, our President, to increase the number of beneficiaries from about 530,000 to 1.1 million, additional resources were graciously approved by this House to enable my ministry to procure 110,000 metric tons of fertilizer. This procurement was indeed intended to reach 1.1 million beneficiaries across the nation. Mr. Speaker, sir, this program was supported by our development partners. Let me particularly single out the International Fund for Agriculture Development, IFAD, which has made a significant contribution to the program. Mr. Speaker, sir, in response to His Excellency's declaration of a state of disaster in several districts and the whole country, IFAD moved in to support us with 2,200 metric tons of fertilizer and 110 metric tons of certified hybrid seed. These inputs were delivered in Baraka and Lilongwe. Distribution and redemption performance. Mr. Speaker, sir, as previously reported in this House, my ministry, through the Smallholder Fertilizer Revolving Fund of Malawi, established markets in every constituency, ensuring that farmers could access inputs under the program with reasonable proximity to their communities. Additionally, more cells were deployed to reach more remote areas through mobile operations. I'm pleased to inform this august House that as of 13th March 2026, when we closed the program, a total of 925,428 beneficiaries, comprising of 577,261 female-headed households and 348,161 male-headed households, redeemed their 1,850,855 bags of fertilizer. This represents 84%. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a substantial improvement over the same period last season, when redemption stood at 67%. Mr. Speaker, sir, it should be noted very clearly that performance at regional and district levels is much better this year than the last season, as no district this year is below 72% redemption, while last season, same time, 12 districts were below 50%, with at least one, which is the least, I should say, Mulanje district at 27%. So too is the regional performance, Mr. Speaker, sir, where distribution among regions was very unlike last season, when there was unfair distribution. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, sir, to highlight regional performance. The Southern region this year has reached 86%. Last year, it was at 38%. The Eastern region at 83%, while last year it was at 40%. The Central region at 84%, while last year it was at 80%. The Northern region at 83%, while last year it was at 90%. Mr. Speaker, sir, this performance is, as I said, a result of the as a result of the President's personal and decisive guidance on the fair distribution of FISIP inputs in this country. Mr. Speaker, sir, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, if you consider the distribution last season, Nkulukuta Moyo is a good leader. Mr. Speaker, sir, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika loves his people. Mr. Speaker, sir, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika loves this country and he wishes us well. Carry over stock. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me inform the House that at the time of closing on 13th March 2026, there were outstanding deliveries amounting to 31,140 metric tons from the following sources. Number one, East Bridge is yet to supply 4,000 metric tons of NPK fertilizer. This was an agreement that was reached between the previous government and East Bridge. Private suppliers are yet to deliver 7,197 metric tons. Mr. Speaker, sir, Smallholder Fertilizer Revolving Fund, using the FISIP budget of 25.5 billion, procured tobacco intended to be exchanged for 19,908.56 metric tons of NPK fertilizer under an agreement signed with East Bridge Company during the previous regime. Mr. Speaker, sir, as I speak, not a single kilogram of fertilizer has been delivered to date. In addition, on a commercial basis, Smallholder Fertilizer Revolving Fund procured tobacco valued at 22.5 billion. This tobacco was somehow, and I'm being very polite with my language there, was delivered yet again to East Bridge. As I speak, Mr. Speaker, sir, we are stuck with about 14 million kilograms of tobacco procured by the ministry and Smallholder Fertilizer Revolving Fund in our warehouses. What this means, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that the FISP program was grossly mismanaged by the previous government. This matter is currently before the courts, so I'll leave it at that for now. Nevertheless, Mr. Speaker, sir, this House and all Malawians should be assured that my ministry will make sure that all this mess is cleaned, government funds are recovered to the last tambala, and all culprits are dealt with accordingly. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, sir, Smallholder Fertilizer Revolving Fund is currently doing reconciliation to establish exactly the remaining quantities of fertilizer. However, the tentative figures of carryover stocks are at 3,243.65 metric tons, which is 360.3 metric tons of NPK and 2,883.35 metric tons of urea. Logistical challenges and mitigation. Mr. Speaker, sir, I must candidly acknowledge that the delivery of fertilizer to retail points has encountered some challenges emanating from two principal factors. First, the increase in fuel prices, which inevitably impacted transportation costs. And secondly, the inaccessibility of certain markets due to heavy rains that were received in several parts of the country. To address these challenges, Mr. Speaker, sir, my ministry engaged with transport operators and agreed upon reasonable charges that balance the viability of their operations with timely delivery. Further, for areas rendered completely inaccessible by weather conditions, my ministry received invaluable assistance from the Ministry of Defense, which graciously provided 11 military trucks to support our distribution efforts. In our efforts to reach out to all areas, we also used water transport to reach out to Makanjira and Rikoma Island. Malpractices and accountability. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me, on a sobering note, indicate that as a country, we have a huge task to deal with issues of integrity and corruption. This issue, Mr. Speaker, sir, cuts across different levels and cadres of our society, and we need to be firm in our resolve as a country to address it. Mr. Speaker, sir, the program faced instances where some individuals entrusted with the selling of inputs to beneficiaries, including local leaders, market committee members, agriculture staff, smallholder fertilizer revolving fund clerks, National Registration Bureau staff, and some police officers engaged in theft and corrupt practices contrary to the high level of integrity that this program demands and deserves. In response, Mr. Speaker, sir, my ministry engaged the Malawi Police Service, the Anti-Corruption Bureau, the National Audit Office Forensic Section, to conduct thorough investigations drawing upon their respective expertise and the nature of each case. To date, 32 cases involving 51 sales clerks, 2 agriculture officials, 1 police officer, and 6 vendors from 30 markets have been formally recorded. Of these, 12 have been concluded with sentences handed down by the courts. 12 are currently under court proceedings and 8 remain under investigations. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to reaffirm with the full weight of my office the undertaking I made in my area report to this House. My ministry will not shield anyone, regardless of their status. The law. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, sir, permit me to once again express my deepest appreciation to His Excellency, the State President, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, for his compassionate decision to increase the number of beneficiaries to 1.1 million and reduce the beneficiary contribution per fertilizer bag to 10,000 kwacha. This decision reflects His Excellency's profound understanding of the difficult circumstances confronting our farming communities following a challenging past-harvest season. The President demonstrated his personal interest in the program, and his guidance and encouragement gave me and my team in the ministry the energy and zeal to make it as successful as it has been, given the time limits we faced. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to express my sincere gratitude and congratulations to my Principal Secretary, management, and staff for their dedication and commitment to the success of the program. My ministry remains committed to the successful implementation of the Farm Input Subsidy Program and I therefore call upon my honorable colleagues to continue supporting this program just as you did in this season. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me mention that I got support from all members of this House. I was given information, I was given heads up, and that helped us a lot to make sure that this program was a success. And this support came from both sides of the House, and I really appreciate. I would also like to thank all stakeholders and appeal to them to continue rendering their support to this vital national initiative. Mr. Speaker, sir, I submit. Thank you.
West, Cholo Tegelani, and Lilongwe Mapuyu South. Yes, in that order, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. Through you, let me commend the Honorable Minister and his entire staff indeed for being available each time we have requested for information about the subsidy fertilizer in our constituency. I must say that the entire staff, we are very, very ready to assist. That I want to put it on record to say thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, my question, I don't know, maybe I missed the presentation. In Mzimba Southwest, Paramount Chief Mberwa and the entire areas like Mjinge, Dingeni, Kapopo, the challenge that is there is because it was impassable, that the trucks could not go there. As a result, the amount of fertilizer that we have received so far is about 79 to 80%. Hence, the remaining 20%, you may advise, I don't know if you already mentioned in your statement, but people in Mzimba Southwest were telling them that the fertilizer is going to come, and because we have got a lot of rains this year, they are going to use it in our dampers. I can assure you that we have a lot of water in Mzimba Southwest because of the heavy rains that we have had. So if the minister would be kind enough indeed to provide the coupons, the fertilizer, so that the coupons that are there can be discharged. I submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mzimba Southwest. Cholo Tekelani.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, for recognizing the people of Cholo Tekelani to ask the Minister. But before asking the Minister a question, let me join my senior colleague by registering appreciation to the Minister of Agriculture for a very good work done. Cholo Tekelani have really benefited a lot from the initiatives added to this program by the Minister. You know, Cholo Tekelani has a very, very tough terrain, very difficult to reach in different areas. But the initiative you put by having mobile selling markets helped a lot to the people of Choro Tegeran. And a lot of people, a lot of beneficiaries bought the fertilizer. It's almost the percentage you have mentioned in the southern region. But in my observation, Right Honorable Speaker, to the Minister, is that during the registration of this program, the agricultural clerics were taking advantage of putting other people who are not the real beneficiaries of this program. They were trying to coax with others, and they were bringing in some ideas to benefit through that system of the credits. What measures have you put so far to make sure that the selection of the beneficiaries this coming season is good and it has improved, that the real beneficiaries are the ones targeted? Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Cholo Tegerani. Lilongwe Mapuyu South.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving the people of Lilongwe Mapuyu South an opportunity to contribute to the statement by the Honorable Minister. And let me join other contributors, recognizing the efforts the Ministry has demonstrated to ensure that amidst challenges, farmers, the targeted farmers, some of them have been able to redeem their fertilizer. Just a few areas for consideration and questions is basically on the abuse of the FISIP program. I think it is a common knowledge that we have had this program for several years, and yet this program is failing to help us address food shortages in the country. And there are reports that most of those that are benefiting from this program do not actually use the inputs for the intended purpose. So year in, year out, we are spending on farmers that are not using the fertilizer, hence the hunger every year. And indeed, there are reports that even some beneficiaries do not even have fields. Once they redeem the fertilizer, they sell it. So I wanted to know from the Honorable Minister if the Honorable Minister is aware, and perhaps propose, as the Ministry is coming up with reforms, that perhaps we need at least 2 windows of the FISIP program. One that would consider to subsidize at least 50%. We have a number of able farmers that would even be able to redeem the fertilizer at 90,000, right? That would actually expand the access to quite capable smallholder farmers that would be able to buy. I think that is the feedback that we are getting from our communities. This is not to say that the 10,000 kwacha price should be dropped. I think there could be a certain category of farmers that would still need to be supported in that way, if government may not find other means of supporting the vulnerable. But to insist on just 10,000, what is happening is that farmers are getting the bags of fertilizers and selling them at almost 100,000. And that's why we are having problems with vendors, because the price is too low. The second part, Honorable Minister, Right Honorable Speaker, I would want also to highlight, thank you that the report has highlighted some of the corruption practices that are happening within the program. I'll just focus on those that are concerning the officials from the Ministry of Agriculture. Just as my fellow honorable member has indicated, during this time, and it may not only be this season, we have discovered fake names on the beneficiary lists. Fake names on the beneficiary lists, and also we discovered national IDs that are designated to be able to buy fertilizers, but the names are not on the beneficiary list. And our investigation has indicated that most of these practices are being done by agricultural officials, particularly the extension workers. I wanted to know what the minister is actually doing on these malpractices. The last one is on the those that have not been able to redeem the fertilizer. For example, in the markets for Lilongwe Mapuyu South, at Namitete, at Mingongo, and at Kamanzi, we have a total number of fertilizer bags, particularly for urea, about 500 bags. And yet we have about 800 farmers that did not redeem NPK. The question we are having from our farmers is, can these farmers be allowed to redeem the urea? Because most of them, they have not used they have not applied any fertilizer, and they would want to redeem now and even use that fertilizer for irrigation in the dimbers. So, Right Honorable Speaker, these are some of the comments and questions that the Minister of Agriculture should consider. Thank you.
Thank you, Lilongwe Mapuyu South. Yes, Honorable Mwanza Tambani?
West, yeah.
You want to contribute?
Yes.
Or it's a point of order?
I want to contribute.
Okay. Okay, I'll take you because you are a lady.
Point of order.
And for the others, we'll come back in the second round.
Point of
Go
order.
ahead, Mwanza Tambani.
Point
You'll
of
be the
order.
last one. Yes, point of order. Machinga.
Mangochi Nkunguru.
Mangochi
Nkunguru.
Kunguru.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for granting me this opportunity on a point of order. I just want to understand, you are saying contribution. Is it contribution or questions? I want to understand there. Are we supposed to ask questions or we are supposed to contribute? Thank you.
Mangochi Nkunguru, I think a question is one way of contributing on the floor. So it could be in the form of a question or a comment. As long as you're making a contribution, I think it's valid. Do you have a question or a contribution?
My understanding is that after the constituents, after the ministerial statement, we ask a question. So I also have a question. But I was surprised that you said, can you contribute? That's why I was asking. Thank you.
Okay. No, I meant contribute to the statement, whether it's a form of a question or a comment. But I'll come to you in the next round for your question. Proceed, Mwanza.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for granting the people of Mwanza West an opportunity to make a contribution. Let me join the honorable members who spoke before me in thanking the Minister of Agriculture for the recommendable job that she's doing. Indeed, let me testify that my constituency is one of the beneficiary constituencies which are very hard to reach, and we benefited from the MDF vehicles. They were the ones that were transporting most of the fertilizers to the constituency. So let me thank you together with the Minister of Defense for that. My contribution or a question is to request the Honorable Minister that the next growing season, if it's possible, the fertilizer should come on time. If it can come in September, October, at least that way we won't have much of the distractions that we had this year. Because when it rains, the cars were having problems to reach there, and sometimes they were using the route to Mozambique. So if the next growing season, if you can supply to us on time, it will do us good. And also, let me join the honorable member for Lilongwe, is it Mapuyu, in what he requested to say there are some beneficiaries who haven't redeemed their fertilizers. And most of the people of Mwanza West, they also haven't redeemed their fertilizers. And it's one of the constituencies that has been hit with a disaster. In most of the crops, some crops have been destroyed with the rains. So if we can benefit the subsidized fertilizer, it will help us to do the irrigation farming so that we shouldn't die of hunger this year. Thank you so much. That was the contribution of Mwanza West people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mwanza West. Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Firstly, I would like to thank the Honorable Member from Zimba Southwest for his kind words. I appreciate. Thank you very much. The Honorable Member for Zimba Southwest is asking my ministry on what we will use the remaining fertilizer for, because only about 80% of the people in his constituency were able to buy the FISIP fertilizer. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me assure the Honorable Member that the remaining fertilizer will be used during winter cropping. As of now, we have our Alangizi, our extension workers, in all the areas that are affected, doing the registration. And this will only be done in areas where there can be winter cropping. We are being very careful this time, Mr. Speaker, sir, because as you are aware, when we were implementing this FISIP, we did not have enough time for us to carefully review the criteria for selecting beneficiaries. But in as far as the winter cropping is concerned, our extension workers are now in those areas registering beneficiaries of this remaining fertilizer. Remember, I said we have stocks remaining from what was already delivered. And then we also have stocks that were not delivered due to other issues that I mentioned in my presentation. So you should be assured, Honorable Members in the Southwest, that this fertilizer will go to good use. All I can say and appeal to Honorable Member for Zimba Southwest and other members in the House, we should make sure that our extension workers have registered the relevant beneficiaries, and I stress the word relevant. I also, Mr. Speaker, would like to thank the member for Cholo Tekerani for the kind words that go to me and my ministry. And I want to say that I owe this to the President. He was very decisive in whatever guidance he was giving us. The concern here, or I should say the contribution, is on selection of beneficiaries. And what we are going to do in this season to make sure that the selection is fair or relevant to the program. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me again assure the Honorable Member that as stipulated very clearly in our manifesto, the selection criteria will be based on cooperatives. Only beneficiaries or farmers that are in cooperatives will benefit from FSIP this season. This will ensure that these are real farmers, 1. 2, the management of the whole system becomes easier in terms of not only distribution of the fertilizer, but follow up in terms of extension services to make sure that these farmers benefit from this fertilizer. And it also makes it easier for us as a ministry to evaluate the impact of this program to our farmers. And this also will, to a certain extent, prevent and maybe secure government funds in as far as manipulation of the system is concerned. Members will agree with me that there was indeed manipulation of the system. And as I said, it was a very well crafted cartel, right from the ministry, NRB, Smallholder Fertilizer Revolving Fund, our local leaders, fertilizer vendors. It was a pathetic sight. And I'm very glad that we put precautionary measures to make sure that this is unveiled and the culprits are put to task. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me again express my gratitude to Lilongwe Mapuyu South for your kind words. And again, the honorable member is asking about the issue of the fertilizer not being used for intended purpose. Again, as I said, this time around, we'll only use those that are in cooperatives. Because at the end of the day, it's not only about food security, but it's about commercialization of the agriculture sector. We would want our farmers to benefit from this program by also producing organomineral fertilizer from this chemical fertilizer that we are giving them. As you are aware, that chemical fertilizer has, in the long term, and the long term seems to be now, a very negative impact on our soil health. So we are trying to improve that by encouraging our farmers to make use of this chemical fertilizer by producing organomineral fertilizer. So from 1 bag of NPK, for example, they should be able to make 5 bags of organomineral fertilizer, thereby benefiting them more. And I think I've already explained on the fact that there was, short of the right word, but I think the right word is corruption in this program. That was very deplorable. And there was also a suggestion that maybe we should subsidize 50%. Those are suggestions that we are looking at now, but it all depends on funding and the objective of the government in the implementation of this program and the subsidy as a whole. So it's quite a multifaceted kind of discussion that we need to undertake as government. On the issue of farmers redeeming 2 bags of urea, this is impossible. I got so many requests from honorable members and others on whether farmers could redeem another bag of urea if they got urea, since urea seemed to be readily available. But this was not possible, and is tantamount to a query, an audit query, because each farmer registered is supposed to get 1 NPK, 1 urea. So Mr. Speaker, sir, I think I've covered the questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister of Agriculture. Mangochi Nkunguru. Then, let me have one from this side. Let me get my honorable. Akunaso. Nchinji North. Your constituency, honorable? Nsanje Central. Let me take these three for this round in that order. But I saw Mwanza West, where you were rising.
Yeah, I didn't get a response for my contribution. So the ministers told me she will respond when responding to the next three.
Okay, so it's taken care of already. Thank you. Yes, what's gone out of order, Dezagasina?
Good afternoon, Right Honorable Speaker. And is it in order that the able minister, sit down, honourable members, I'm holding the floor. Yeah. Is it in order that the able minister of agriculture should tell this house of a cartel which was happening from her ministry, which she's admitting, that the cartel started in her office as a minister of agriculture, up to the NRB, and I can see the Minister of Homeland is here. And at the end of it, I thought she's going to say the culprits have been held responsible, but she says it's just a learning point. Is it in order, Mr. Speaker, sir?
I will leave that to the minister to respond what she's doing. But I'm sure, as she said earlier, that her office is conducting a lot of investigations, and I'm sure these are maybe part of those investigations. But she'll respond. Let's start with Mangochi Nkunguru.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and congratulations to Honorable Chamali for the well-presented statement. Madam Speaker, mine is just a plea to the ministry through the Honorable Minister that when they will be doing the winter cropping, they should consider Mangochi Nkunguru, because Mangochi Nkunguru is also along the lake, so they do the winter cropping. And on AIP constituency performance, Mangochi Nkunguru is at 55%, which means 45% did not get the AIP, yet they were promised by our beloved President, Nkulukuta Moyo, that they will get the AIP by giving them the coupons. So they're still waiting up to now, though the depots were closed. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Mangochi Nkunguru. Nchinji North.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker, and just to thank the Honourable Minister for a well-delivered statement to this Honourable Chamber, and just to say that indeed what she has been highlighted is actually what has been happening despite some difficult situation that the minister has been experiencing. But I just want to point one or two things that affected my constituency. One of it that indeed you have supplied the fertilizer for the people, but the problem that we encountered is that the late delivery. We had fertilizer, but very late, Honourable Minister. This time, can you start preparing it very early so that people should receive the fertilizer in very good time? Because receiving the fertilizer while chimanga ja fulagale, then that's not the way things has to happen. And you know yourself, Honorable Minister, that in changes one of the food basket, if things are being taken care of and be put according to the way it's supposed to be. May you also know, Honorable Minister, that we had floods in Nchinji. For the first time, we experienced flooding at Kagwazanga side where it's also my home area. We had flood, a big one, so massive that it has managed to take away most of the fields wherever the water was going. So I heard about you talking about a program whereby you're going to consider those people probably from the lower sheet or whatever, but also think of Kakwazanga and Nchinji, Tie Kawere, Nkanda, somewhere Kajojo there. Yeah, so just your people from your ministry must make sure that they see what has actually been happening. Honorable Speaker, that's it, and I submit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear sister. How is Nchinji, by the way?
It's fine, Honorable Speaker.
I know you had floods. I hope now you're getting relief.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Nsanje Central. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for recognizing the people of Nsanje Central. Allow me, first of all, Mr. Speaker, sir, also to congratulate the Minister for the work well done. Indeed, most of the beneficiaries received their fertilizer. Of course, from the people of Nsanje, would like to encourage the Minister that probably next season, when you are considering the involvement of the MDF, consider also people of Nsanje, because Nsanje, to the west, it is very, very difficult to access. We had challenges, people from areas like Ntondo, Misamvu, they had to come all the way to Sojin, which is about 20 kilometers to get the fertilizer, which was very, very difficult. But the real point that I wanted to raise, Mr. Speaker, with the Minister for her consideration and the consideration of government is to whether 2 years or 2 seasons ago, government distributed goats to our farmers as an option. Whether going forward, government could also consider providing or distributing or supporting the farmers, the beneficiaries, with cash, so that they're able to use that cash to buy either millet seed, sorghum seed, or even to buy medicines for livestock. As you know, in the Shire Valley, we are big farmers in livestock. But in this sector of livestock is not being supported by government. So providing to these farmers a little bit of some cash, they can decide to buy seed for millet, seed for sorghum, which normally we plant during the normal season. In the normal season, in the Shire Valley, we don't normally plant maize. We plant sorghum and millet. So if you provide cash equivalent, it will be good for the people of the Shire Valley. They can have the options either to buy seed for sorghum, millet, or to buy medicine for their livestock. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Nsanje Central. Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I would like to firstly apologize to Mwanza West that I skipped a response to my honorable, should I call you daughter? Sorry about that. Mwanza West, Honorable Speaker, is requesting the ministry for an early implementation of FISIP this coming season. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to assure the honorable member that we've actually already designed the way we will implement this program, and we've designed it in a manner that by October, by this coming October, we should have completed implementation of FISIP. You will therefore note that in the coming week or so, we will be advertising for the purchase of the fertilizer. The only thing that will maybe take time and that will not affect the October target is the fact that we need to design this thing, the FISIP program, very carefully. And that has come as a directive from the President. We really want to see the impact of this program to our farmers and as a nation in terms of the agenda of this government in as far as agriculture is concerned. So early distribution is a must. And the honorable member from Mwanza West has also indicated that in her constituency, just like most of the constituencies, most of her areas were hit by disaster, and some of the beneficiaries under FISIP that were registered did not receive or buy the fertilizer. As I said, we have a program, a winter cropping program, and this is, of course, under irrigation. And I would like to again appeal to you, honorable member, through you, Mr. Speaker, that let's all be alert and make sure that we are in contact with our agriculture officers to make sure that we make them aware of the need for winter cropping in our areas. But again, this will be relevant. Relevancy will take a big role in the selection of who should benefit from this winter program. There was a point of order, Mr. Speaker, sir, from the Takasina on the fact that I mentioned the departments that were involved in the malpractice in the FISP program. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me say that, as the President put it, this government is not shielding anyone. We are very transparent and will always be. This is a government program, and as I said in my presentation, it deserves all the integrity. And that is demanded even from our people out there. So I will not hesitate to mention who was involved. And I want to repeat, it's from agriculture, NRB, some police officers, people that were manning our IT system, and others. So, as I said in my presentation, there's a lot that we are doing. We have a forensic audit going on. We have not stopped because the program has closed. People have been arrested. We have cases in court. So we are doing a lot to make sure that we bring the culprits to book. Mr. Speaker, sir, there was a contribution from Mangochi Nkungulu for us in the ministry to consider the constituency when we are implementing the winter cropping program. Again, my honorable sister, just make sure that you work very closely with your agriculture extension workers in the constituency. And please make sure that this is recorded in your district agriculture office. Because as I said, this time we'll deal with real farmers and not just individuals that are affected. We want real farmers that have farmland, no matter how small. Mr. Speaker, sir, there was a comment or a contribution from Chinji North. And again, let me thank all the other members that have made contributions for their kind words. I really appreciate. The issue for Chinji North was late delivery. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would want to apologize for this, and this applies to most constituencies, but members will appreciate the situation that we were in for us to procure the fertilizer and start distribution. We did our best. That's why we even had to curtail, because the growing season, you agree with me, honorable members, was over, and it made no sense for us to continue with the program. So I want to assure the honorable member that this time around, we have no excuse but to do our best. And in as far as the floods in Mchinji are concerned, indeed, as I put it, let's be vigilant to work together with our district agriculture officers and extension officers to make sure that those farmers, and I want to stress farmers affected, are assisted during winter cropping. Mr. Speaker, sir, there was a contribution from Sanje Central. Again, thank you very much for your kind words. And the contribution stressed on the need for the program to include other seeds. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to remind the honorable member that under FISIP, farmers had a choice of which cereal, in terms of seed, they want to purchase. The hiccup or problem that was faced is that maize seed in particular was very expensive for the farmer. That's why this time around, we've made a resolution through a directive by the President that will produce seed in this country, whether it be an international company or a national seed company. Seed will be produced in Malawi. And we are starting that during this winter cropping. So I want to assure the honorable member that indeed, once we design the program, which we are currently discussing within the ministry and with other stakeholders, you will note that the design of FISIP will be a little bit different. One, will deal with the cooperatives, and secondly, the type of seed that will be sold will depend on the results of our soil mapping activities that is going on now. So each area will be mapped according to the seed that is suitable for that area, and farmers will be given the choice. All we can do is offer extension services for farmers to grow seeds that are suitable for their areas under this FISP program. So I encourage honorable members to ensure that our farmers join cooperatives. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for them to benefit from this program. We want real farmers this time. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Minister of Agriculture. I see the leader. Point of order.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
Let me attend to the leader. I'll come back to you. Leader.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I know, I'm aware that issues of agriculture attract a lot of questions from members, comments, but the Land Minister has got a commitment in the next 15 minutes. I thought I needed to excuse her so that she could attend to that important meeting, and therefore I beg to move that debate on the report be curtailed.
Point of order. Point of order. Point of order. I can't pay.
Leader. I think on ministerial statement, you don't need to move a motion, but you can just guide.
Yes, to curtail debate, Right Honourable Speaker. I submit.
Thank you very much, Honourable Leader. There was a point of order that I recognized coming from...
Right Honourable Speaker, I wanted to speak before the Leader of the House. Looking at the debate under discussion, it defines the Republic. It's very important. I wanted to say we proceed asking questions and making contributions to the topic under discussion up to tea break and after, because we have a lot to ask and we have a lot to contribute. But since the leader has curtailed the debate, then we are left with no choice but to agree. But that's what I wanted to say. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable. I think you have responded to that yourself, that the leader had to move because the minister has to rush for another engagement. But we will definitely ask if she, in future, near future, if she has the time, she can come into. Otherwise, please feel free to write a note to the minister of your concerns, and I'm sure our able minister will handle your concerns. Thank you. You want the minister to invite you to our office? Well, that is up to the minister. I don't know how safe she'll be with you, but thank you, honourable members. We now move to table clerks.
Ministerial statements, Roman numeral number 1A. The Honourable Minister of Transport and Public Works to present a statement on road subsector.
Honourable Minister of Transport.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to update this Honourable House on the progress and direction of the roads subsector, a sector that remains the backbone of our economy. Let me on the outset thank the President, His Excellency Professor Arthur Mutharika, for his excellent leadership that continues to guide us in the ministry. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me take this opportunity to update this House on the road network reclassification, which is aimed at providing structured and balanced development in the road sector through participation of district councils. The road network reclassification study was undertaken by the Roads Authority as part of the review of our national road governance framework. This reform marks a significant milestone in modernizing how Malawi plans, manages, finances, and maintains its public road infrastructure. It aligns our road classification system with current economic realities, demographic growth, urban expansion, and evolving administrative responsibilities. Mr. Speaker, sir, the study builds upon the area reclassification conducted between 2004 and 2006 and has now been comprehensively reviewed in collaboration with the Ministry and the district councils. The review incorporated updated road names, corrected distances, and introduced a mechanism for periodic reassessment to ensure the system remains responsive to changing national conditions. The reclassification was guided by a rigorous criteria analysis management system database. Roads were evaluated based on traffic volumes, population density, economic activity, administrative connectivity, and existing road conditions. This objective and evidence-based approach ensures that roads are classified according to their functional importance and contribution to the national development. As a result, the road network has been structured into 4 functional tiers. Arterial roads, these are main and secondary. These support high traffic flows and ensures uninterrupted connectivity between districts headquarters. Collector roads, these are district and tertiary. These link major population centers and economic hubs. Local roads, community and state roads. These provide access to communities, agricultural zones, and local enterprises. Then finally, the urban roads. These are categorized in urban arterials, urban collector, and urban local streets. To enhance clarity, consistency, and national uniformity, a structured route numbering system has been introduced. Main roads will retain their existing national designations, beginning from M001 and continuing sequentially. Secondary roads will be renumbered starting from S200. These roads will be assigned 4-digit numbers beginning from D1000. Community roads will begin from C2000 with S, D, and C numbering commencing from the lowest number in the northern region. Mr. Speaker, sir, this reform also clearly defines institutional responsibilities. Main and secondary roads will be managed by the National Roads Agency, that's the Roads Authority. These roads will be under the district assemblies, while urban roads will be managed by the city and the municipal authorities. However, the Roads Authority will retain responsibility for nationally designated and strategic arterial routes traversing urban areas, including the roads joining the main road, to ensure uniform standards, corridor integrity, and overall national network efficiency. Community roads will be managed by local councils and relevant stakeholders. This coordinated framework strengthens accountability while preserving national standards and protecting strategic transport corridors that underpin economic activity and regional connectivity. Mr. Speaker, sir, the implementation of this reform will require incorporation into the Public Roads Act and formal gazetting. It will also require institutional capacity strengthening, sustainable financing mechanisms, updated district roads maps, and the replacement of outdated road markers to reflect the new classification system. This is not merely a technical adjustment. It is a structural governance reform that enhances efficiency in road management, improves investment prioritization, strengthens transparency in resource allocation, and positions Malawi's transport infrastructure to better support economic growth, service delivery, and national integration. I therefore present the revised road network classification framework to this House as a necessary and forward-looking reform in our national infrastructure development agenda. Status of road network. Mr. Speaker, sir, for the past few years, the road subsector has suffered from chronic underfunding, largely due to non-remittance of fuel levy. This resulted in erratic maintenance and widespread deterioration of our roads across the country. Since the change of regime, however, government has moved swiftly to reverse this trend. In collaboration with the Ministry of Energy, Government has reinstated the automatic pricing mechanism, ensuring a predictable flow of fuel-level resources earmarked for road maintenance. This policy decision marks a major turning point in the system scheduling of rehabilitation and preservation of Malawi's roads assets. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the year 2026-27 financial year, while undertaking various road projects at procurement, design, and even construction status, government will prioritize completion and continuation of the following road projects, many of which commenced in previous years but are now being accelerated. These include: 1, upgrading of Rumpinyika Road, Road 2, and the Chikwawa Bembe section; upgrading of Tangatanga Junction, Iswazini Mzalangwe Kafukule Road in Mzimba District; capacity improvement of Kaunda Chendawaka Road, Lot 1 and 2 and 3 in Lilongwe Urban; completion of Tuchira Bridge along the M4 Road at Nkando Trading Center in the Mulanje District; Chingale Lirangwe Road project; upgrading of Mangochi Makanjia Road; upgrading of Kamaza Nambuma Road; and upgrading of Gender Edingen Road. I beg your pardon? Mr. Speaker, sir, the main trunk road, M1, and other arteries have reached a point where some sections are completely deteriorated. The front sections, with support from development partners, are being rehabilitated. Kia Turnoff to Mzimba Turnoff, and Kacheche Chiweta with support from the European Investment Bank and the European Union. Rehabilitation of the Lakeshore Road, M5, Benga Duangwa Road section with funding by the Malawi government. Nsipe Rwande Road section supported by the African Development Bank and with support from the World Bank. Rehabilitation of the Rwande Matawari Road. And in order to enhance resilience against annual climatic shocks in the Lower Shire, government also with support from the World Bank has earmarked a new project to redesign and reconstruct the Tabwa Chikwawa Bangura Road M1, a distance of about 98 kilometers. Issues of flood will become history as the road embankment will be raised and provided with adequate drainage channels. All these efforts are intended to facilitate movement of cargo from production areas to both the domestic and international markets. Mr. Speaker, sir, for the Lilongwe Urban, we have a challenge in that street lights and other road infrastructure are being vandalized, a practice that is decadent and retrogressive. I used to reiterate what my honorable colleague, Dr. Feston Kaupa, MP, said in this House in 2025, that all such human-minded people should stop such malpractice forthwith, because once apprehended, the culprits will face the full wrath of the law. Road traffic and safety services. Mr. Speaker, sir, improving road safety and decentralizing safe delivery remain key priorities of this government. I am pleased to inform the House that satellite road traffic officers in Karonga, Mangochi, and Ngabu are now operational, bringing essential services such as driver licensing, vehicle registration, and issuance of certificate of fitness closer to the people. These reforms have significantly reduced travel distances, time, and cost in accessing services by our citizenry. Mr. Speaker, sir, infrastructure development must be complemented by strong institutions and effective regulations. In this regard, in the year 2026-2027 financial year, government will continue strengthening road safety and asset protection through the expansion of vehicle inspection services. Further, rehabilitation and establishment of satellite offices in additional districts such as Kasungu, Mzimba, Salima, and Mulanje, and the construction of Kalinyeke, Liwonde, and Duanga and Kotokota Way bridges. These interventions are crucial to curbing overloading, preserving road infrastructure, and safeguarding public investment. Mr. Speaker, sir, I will be failing in my duties if I do not bring up a subject matter of importance. In contemporary times, Kabaza has become a road safety hazard, maiming and killing productive category of our people. While this business has eased movement of people in urban areas, its downside is that the health sector is now reeling under the burden of huge costs of medical care attributed to unchecked Kabaza operatives terrorizing our urban areas. My minister has now started working to bring sanity and order to this category of business by ensuring that all motorcyclists get registered, to ease enforcement and identification in case of hit and runs, which have become common. Secondly, to certificate all motorcyclists on the highway code, use of protective headgear, and need for high visibility to other road users. Gone are the days when such malpractice by motorcyclists was being shielded by politicians for the sake of votes. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the strategy is that no amount of value or price can be attached to loss of life. Every single life is sacred, and for the development of Malawi, law enforcers are now on strict instructions to apprehend any errant motorcyclists. Challenges. Mr. Speaker, sir, despite notable progress in transforming the road subsector, we continue to face challenges requiring sustained attention. Firstly, funding for infrastructure maintenance has been inadequate and unpredictable, negatively affecting the pace for road rehabilitation. Our infrastructure roads are aging and require modernization to meet current and future demands. In addition, rising costs due to currency devaluation and inflation continue to put pressure on our projects. Mr. Speaker, sir, climate change can no longer be treated as a future risk. The damaged roads and bridges witnessed during the current rainy season has reinforced the urgency of climate-resilient infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, despite the said challenges, the future looks bright in the road transport subsector. My minister is optimistic that most of the challenges being experienced will be a story of the past. My minister is now looking at innovative and alternative sources of funding for transport infrastructure outside the traditional sources. We are in the middle of motivating the local financial institutions to venture into the transport sector. From the few consultations that we've had, this is already looking promising and transformational. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, sir, the vision of this government is clear: to build back better a modern, safe, and integrated transport system that connects Malawians to opportunities, drives regional trade, and accelerates our economic transformation. We are not merely rehabilitating roads, ports, and airports. We are building the arteries of progress that will carry our nation forward. A better Malawi where everyone else is safe on our roads is very possible. I submit, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Minister of Transport. Members, we will take questions after we come from health break. I wanted to make one announcement, but I'll ask Honorable Chirazulu Nyungwe. Are you in the house? Yes. Please tell us about the guests. I leave that to you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for according the people of Chiradzulu Nyungwe to brief you a little bit about the guests. I stand here not as a man that's representing the people of Chiradzulu Nyungwe, but as a patron for the National Theatre Association. In this house a few days ago, humbly asking honorable members and seeking some financial support as they are willing or have been invited to attend to an arts and theater festival in Zambia. So they have returned today to ask honorable members to kindly honor the pledges that they made. And some honorable members who may wish to further support can meet them outside at the end of this session. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Thank you.
Can I ask our guests to stand in the gallery? Our guests, are they here? Okay, maybe they're outside, but they were up there. I'd seen them. Honourable members, is Nkota Liwalazi here? Please stand.
Yes,
how are you?
Speaker. I'm all right, thanks, and how are you?
Good.
Thank you.
I was waiting to hear your voice, and I'm happy. Honourable members, that's our youngest member of parliament in the House. We should all be proud of her. Thank you, honourable member. At least I've heard your voice. You may take a seat. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Point of order? There's a casino? Are you serious about this point of order?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
yes.
Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, sir, as one of the youngest, also wanted to say, is it in order? Is it in order that you don't accord the Jagas an opportunity to greet and welcome Nkota Liwalazi as the youngest?
We need to seek guidance from the leader of the House on that one. You know, she belongs that side. You can't just cross the aisle. You'll be kicked out. I think that was on a lighter note. Honourable members, it's now 15:36. I have one small communication to make before we go for a health break. Honourable members, before the suspension of the House for lunch, I took note of concerns raised on the floor by the Leader of the Opposition regarding the membership of the ad hoc committee, which the House adopted earlier in the morning. During lunch break, I met with leadership of the House on both sides to consider issues surrounding the ad hoc committee in order to iron out concerns to ensure that the committee starts its work with support from both sides of this House, and that this House should have confidence in the committee that it has appointed. Following our discussion, the leadership reviewed the membership of the ad hoc committee and agreed as follows. Member for Kasungu Municipality, Honorable Noel Kaputankubwi, Independent, will be replaced by member for Dedza Mayani, Honorable Samuel Kafafa, MP, Independent. The People's Party should replace member for Nkata Bechinteche, Honorable Noah Chimpeni, MP, as there are some issues which we have communicated to them. 3, member for Lilongwe Mude, Honorable Mpatso Boti Piri, will be the 3rd member for MCP, replacing member for Lilongwe Demera. As Speaker, I am committed to ensure that this inquiry is credible and is devoid of any political undertones. I will now request the leadership of the House to confirm what I have just announced, beginning with the Leader of the House and then the Leader of the Opposition.
Right Honourable Speaker, I rise to confirm that what you have announced is indeed what transpired when we met in an ad hoc meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader of the House. Leader of Opposition.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Before I confirm, Right Honourable Speaker, allow me to say this, that our area position came from the background that, Mr. Speaker, sir, the issue in question of the plane crash happened during the MCP government. Mr. Speaker, there is a natural justice principle that says you cannot be a judge in your own case. And Mr. Speaker, sir, this analogy comes from a Latin legal maxim, neno judex in causa sua. This, Mr. Speaker, sir, is a fundamental principle of natural justice. It checks the bias and personal interest in legal disputes. Mr. Speaker, sir, therefore, that decision was taken to retain impartiality, trust, and fairness. However, Mr. Speaker, sir, following the discussions, as you have rightly communicated by your office, we thank you for your consideration. I hereby confirm that what you have communicated is what we have discussed before lunch break. Mr. Speaker, sir, I confirm.
Thank you very much, Leader of Opposition. Honourable members, it is now 15:40. The House will be, I'll suspend the House to 16:10, 10 minutes past 4. House suspended.
Luntha TV is now on Zuku Channel 51. You can get yourself a Zuku decoder from the Luntha TV offices in Area 2, Lilongwe, and from all the St. Manford bookshops across the country in Kasungu, Lilongwe, Salima, Dedza, Balaka, Zomba, Mulanje, Blantyre, Chikwawa, Mwanza, and Mangochi. For more information, contact 0883 815 055 or 0996 892 965. Get a Zuku decoder today and not miss daily mass, worship and prayers, news bulletins, and so much more on Luntha TV, bringing wisdom into your home.
Amalawi anzanga, dziko la Malawi mwagwa mulili wa polio. Polio ndi matenda oopsa omwe.
Luntha TV is now on Zuku Channel 51. You can get yourself a Zuku decoder from the Luntha TV offices in Area 2, Lilongwe, and from all the St. Manford bookshops across the country in Kasungu, Lilongwe,